Welcome back, YouTube. Sensei Domino here. Today I'm going to be sharing a few cards that I've picked up for the player runs that I'm working on. We'll start with a 1972 Topps Billy Williams. This card, for the most part, is razor sharp. Really happy with the condition of this card. Happy to mark it off the checklist. And the next card is actually an upgrade, but I actually wasn't happy with the first upgrade, so I decided to pick up a second upgrade. And this is the first card that I won, and it is super sharp. Really happy with the condition of this card, the centering. Even the back is pretty flawless. Sorry about the focus. But if you look at the front, there is sort of a print defect, sort of a pink, I don't know, haze or something going across his face. It almost looks like it's part of the clouds, but I've seen this card many times, and I've never actually seen this sort of pink background. So I wasn't really happy with this, although otherwise I love this card. So I ended up picking up this one, and the centering isn't as nice, as you can see, top to bottom. But it doesn't have that sort of pink haze. And it is fairly sharp. Maybe a minor ding up there. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it. And the centering on the back is pretty nice. And so, after marking off the 72 and upgrading my 73, I now need the 1965, 1966, 1967, and 1969 to finish my Billy Williams player run. So, getting pretty close. The 1966, I believe, it's number 580. I believe that might be a high number. But the other ones, it's just a matter of finding a card that has, nice sharp corners. And I'll be picking it up. All right, so next, moving on to Orlando Cepeda. And I actually really kind of focused on working on his player run over the last couple months. So I have several cards, including one that has kind of its own story that I'll get to here in a minute. I actually finished Cepeda's player run, but there are 4 cards that I would like to upgrade. So I'm not going to show the player run until I get to upgrading those 4. Let me go ahead and show you the ones that I did pick up. So we got this really nice 1963 Topps. I love this image. The background and the bat pointing towards the camera. Just a gorgeous image. A little bit of corner wear, but not too worried about that. And the back, it's almost a miscut. Not quite. But it's definitely off. But I was okay with the centering on the front. So I was happy with this copy. And next, we have the 1965 Topps. It's another great image right here. And again, centering on this one is a little off. But it is fairly sharp. And that's generally what I look for. And I love the coloring on the back. Barely see any white, maybe some right there, a touch maybe on that corner, touch on that corner, touch on that corner, but otherwise the blue is really solid. I was happy with this copy. All right, next, this is actually an upgrade. This is the 1966, and it's pretty spot on corner-wise. Nice and sharp. The centering isn't the greatest. Could be a little better, but I was really happy with the corners on this one. Pretty much exactly what I look for. So happy to get that one upgraded. Now this one right here. I've attempted to pick this card up now 5 times in the last 2 months. And each time, it comes with an issue that I'm not happy with. So we'll start with this one right here. So let me see. Okay, this one has a crease or a wrinkle, I guess you could say, right there. And this was listed as near mint to mint. And I mean, just look at it. It's a gorgeous looking card, centering, sharp corners, but it's got that wrinkle, even the back. I mean, I'm not trying to be a perfectionist or anything with this card. I just prefer not to have it with a wrinkle. Wrinkles bug me more than anything, really. I'm okay with, ding corners to a point. I'm okay with centering being off, but wrinkles bug me. All right, on this one, there it is right there. There's a wrinkle right there. And again, centering is really nice. Little touch on that corner, but the others are fairly sharp. And this isn't a really valuable card. I mean, you can probably pick this card up, in the $10 range. But you would think when you're looking at stuff that's, I guess worst case EX and, best case near mint plus based on price, you would expect the cards to, not have such a major flaw, I guess. Now, this one right here, this one's really bad. Okay, so this was listed as EX, and it's got a spider crease right here, and then here. And then I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a huge wax stain on it. Like, my goodness. So in nobody's definition of EX is this card. So, again, not trying to be a perfectionist, but you would think that in 5 attempts, I'd be able to find a card that didn't come with some sort of major flaw. All right, here's number 4. Let me find this one. Okay, this one, the crease is, the wrinkle or whatever is right here. Otherwise, again, really nice centering. Little touch on that corner, but otherwise, really sharp. Maybe some minor sort of toning or something right there along that edge. But again, attempt number 4. And then this is the last one I bought, and this one's probably the best one of the bunch. And I guess right now is the placeholder. And this one doesn't really have a crease. It is really sharp. Again, there's just a little touch on that corner. Otherwise, super sharp. Let me show you the back. Nice looking back, nice centering on the back. This one, if you look, I got to catch this the right way. Right here, there's an impression, which, yeah, there you go. You can see that. Means that this was at some point in time was in a 3-ring binder, which is the main reason why I do not like 3-ring binders, because it damages your cards. There it is. Right there. Outside of that, this card is pretty nice. But again, 0 for 5 on the 1967 Orlando Cepeda. And Cepeda won the MVP in 67, so this is kind of an important card as far as this player run is concerned. But I guess I'll be going for attempt number 6 at some point. All right, next, this one right here, I settled for this because this is 1971. Everybody knows about the black borders and, sort of being, difficult to get in good condition, but also this is a high number. So I sort of settled for this one. It's not horrible. Little touch on that corner, touch on that corner. A little more of a touch on that one. This is probably the worst corner. But the edges aren't too bad. But this is card number 605. So it's, for what it is, it's kind of more expensive than it should be, I guess, just being a high number. So I'm content with this one. If I can upgrade it later on, that's fine, but I'm not going to prioritize it. I am comfortable with this copy. If this was, a regular, not a high number, I'd probably upgrade this, or, try to. But, being a high number, I'm pretty comfortable with this one. And this 1972, I actually have this card, but I got it signed by Mr. Cepeda in a TTM. Rest in peace, Mr. Cepeda. But I wanted to get this card without an autograph, so I decided to pick this one up. Pretty well centered. Fairly sharp corners, maybe touches. But still pretty happy with this one. All right, so as I said earlier, to finish the Cepeda player run, I do have every card now, but I need to upgrade my 1959. I missed this one. I need to upgrade my 1960 because there's sort of like a running of the color on his name. So I would like to get a better copy of that. Then I need to upgrade his 1967, as you saw. I need to replace, well, I wrote down the 1971, but I'm pretty content with that one. And then the 1973, I would like to upgrade because it's kind of got rough corners. But yeah, that's where I'm at with the Cepeda. All right, so next, I only picked up one card from this guy's player run. This is the 1968 Topps Carl Yastrzemski. And it is, look at that corner. That corner is razor sharp. That corner is fairly sharp. Maybe a little touch on that one. And maybe a touch on that one. But one thing I've noticed about this card, if you look, there seems like, I know it's not, but it kind of looks like there's like a comet right here on many of the cards. So one of the things that I've been focused on is finding this card without that sort of white mark right here that kind of looks like a comet behind him. And so I was able to find this one, and I'm really happy with this one. The centering's just a touch off. Otherwise, pretty nice. And again, a little off on the back. You can kind of see it if I can get it to focus. It doesn't want to cooperate. There's a little bit of white right there on that corner. I think you might be able to see it. Seems to be focusing on my mat, so anyway, really happy with this copy. So to finish the Carl Yastrzemski player run, this is probably going to be the most difficult price-wise. I still need his 1961, which is his second year. It's the Rookie Cup card. And, honestly, I'd like to get a kind of a graded copy of that, but I'd be happy with like a 5 or a 6. But if not, if the price doesn't cooperate, I'm cool with getting one of those raw. Then I need the 1962. I need the 1967. Actually, I just picked that up. It's not here yet, but I did just pick up the 1967. And I need his 1969. So 1, 2, 3 more cards. So I'm getting really close to the Yaz run. So really, really excited about that one. All right, so that's the that's the baseball runs that I'm working on. I am working on one football player, Mean Joe Green. He went to my alma mater, and so I decided to do the Joe Green player run. And, his cards are really cheap. I've already got his rookie. I've already got his second year. Everything else is it's basically just finding the right condition for the right price. But I picked up his 1976, and the centering is a little off, but it's nice and sharp. That one's razor sharp. So I was really happy with this copy. picked up is 1977. Again, really razor sharp right there. Maybe a touch on that corner. And those bottom two look pretty sharp. And I picked up his 1979 Topps. And again, really sharp. Nicely centered. Maybe a touch on that corner. But really happy with the condition of all three of these. So the Mean Joe Green player run, I need his 1973, his 1974, and his 1975. After that, I'm missing the 1980, but I just won that the other day. So that's coming in the mail. So that one's been marked off, as long as it doesn't show up with a crease that I can't see in the pictures, which I guess is possible. But that card's like $1, so it's not that big of a deal. So getting pretty close to the Joe Green run. All right, next I am working on, I've been working on one player run, and I've decided to pick up another player run, which I don't think I've even written down yet, but I'm probably over halfway done with it. But the one that I have been focusing on is the Pistol Pete Maravich. And so I picked up a few cards for his player run. So first, we'll start with the 1973-74. The floating head. I love the floating heads. I don't know why, but I love these floating heads. And for whatever reason, it doesn't want to focus. Don't know what's going on with my camera today. But anyway, really sharp. Nice centering. Really happy with the condition of this card. And I'm still missing the Pistol Pete rookie, so until I pick that up, that's a big, big, big missing card. Probably the biggest card missing from any of my player runs is that 70-71 Pistol Pete rookie. But I did pick up this. I mean, it's more than a tall boy. This thing's like enormous. This is his 76-77, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, 76-77. And let me raise my camera up a little bit so you can see the card in its entirety. But a gorgeous looking card. Really sharp. And I've really become a fan of this set. These things fit pretty nicely in Card Saver 4s. And I just love the design, and I love the size of them. It gives you a really nice image of the player. And so I've really become a fan of this set. Really happy to mark that card off the list. So as far as Pistol Pete cards, I need 3 more. I need his rookie, 1970-71. I need his third year, 1972-73. I almost won that the other day. And I need his 1974-75. So yeah, 3 away from that one. And the player run that I've decided to pick up is Elvin Hayes. Now, sort of for the same reason that I'm collecting Mean Joe Green. Mean Joe Green went to my alma mater, although, decades apart. This individual actually went to school with my dad. They didn't know each other, but they were at the same school, the University of Houston, at the same time. And so I really kind of want to pick up this guy's player run. So I've started working on that. I was just picking up his cards at random, but now I've sort of decided that I'm going to finish the player run. He doesn't have too many cards. And, being pretty much halfway through already, it made some sense. So I picked up this guy's 1972-73. It's Elvin Hayes. And a little off center, but pretty sharp. Pretty happy with this copy. And I actually didn't realize, but I already had this card. But I picked up another one, and this one might be in a little better condition. But just like the Pistol Pete, the 76, 77, super tall boy, I guess you can call it. Great image right here. But I did already have this card, but I did not have, let me show the back of this one. And I don't really consider this next card part of his player run, because it's like an all-star, but I didn't have this card, so happy to get this one. Pistol Pete also has an all-star in this set, and I'm not really focused on picking that up. I mean, at some point, if I get it, great, but I'm not going to call it part of the player run. It's got pretty sharp corners. Back corners. So all in all, really happy with the condition of all these cards that I've picked up. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing the progress of my player runs. Until next time, thanks for watching the video, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.